Namaste, crypto aficionados and my fellow capitalists. I hope you guys are doing great. And I want to talk about Dogecoin. Okay, now Dogecoin set for gargantuan gains as Elon Musk moves to proceed with a 44 billion Twitter purchase agreement. Okay, the meme coin Dogecoin experienced a marked bullish bump on Tuesday, bolstered by the announcement that the Doge father Elon Musk is still interested in buying Twitter on the deal's original term. Because as we know, he was supposed to buy it before, but because of the bot issue, right? There's so many bots. He claims that there's a lot of bots, which there is, right? We know that, right? When we see, when CZ, right, CZ of Binance, when he tweets, or any prominent crypto personality tweets, right, you'll see all the bots starting to come with the same handle, the same picture, and it start, it ruins that experience because you got to go scroll down all the way and all that. So according to Bloomberg, Musk's legal team sent a letter to Twitter late last night proposing to purchase a social networking giant for the original agreed upon offer of $54.20 per share. Okay, and he offered to buy Twitter in April because he believed it failed to protect free speech and thus imperiled democracy. So he scrapped the deal after that, right? And then the spam bots, like I mentioned earlier, and all that. And he also claimed that the information provided by Twitter was false and misleading, right? So that happens because a lot of this is a true problem, right? A lot of the problem with Twitter right now is that it's becoming an echo chamber of the left, right? So if you are on the right and even if you present the facts, right, they will just get you out, right? They will just somehow block you or suspend your account and all that. So you see like libs of TikTok, right? Their account is suspended. The account is suspended. Babylon B satire, right, gets suspended. I just said, if inflation is high, businesses will die, and my account got blocked for a week, right? And I'm a nobody, right? And I'm like, what the hell, man? So 1 week, and Twitter is important for me because it's where I go and get information from. In fact, it's the fastest way to get information because it's a town hall, right, of the world, whether you like it or not. Because all the top fellas and the stupidest fellas, the smartest guys and the stupidest guys are all on Twitter. So you go to Twitter and the information there is fantastic and it's fast, right? So people post stuff and it's also where you can make friends and you can also find people that to engage you, and you can learn faster. I learned a lot of crypto from Twitter, right? That's how my journey is, right? So coming back to this, the Elon Musk thing now. Let's go down the rabbit hole a bit, right? So we know it's important because Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency, and we know how much Elon Musk loves Dogecoin and even Bitcoin, right? So the price of Dogecoin, right, from this news, it just bumped up, right? It just bumped up, and we're not even in a bull market yet. The important thing to note is that where it all comes from. So it all comes from, in the leaked conversation with Jack Dorsey, and Jack says, a new platform is needed. It can't be a company. This is why I left, okay? And Elon Musk said, what should it look like? And Jack Dorsey says that, about Twitter. So Jack Dorsey says that I believe it must be an open source protocol funded by a foundation of sorts that doesn't own the protocol, only advances it, a bit like what Signal has done. It cannot have an advertising model, otherwise you have a surface area that the governments and advertisers try to influence and control, because the person who pays top dollar for the advertising, he can sway the direction of the company, right? So if I'm getting money, let's say from CCP, I will be more pro CCP. That's fact, that's life, right? So if it has a centralized entity behind it, it will be attacked, which is true. That's why Bitcoin is fantastic, right? It doesn't have a centralized entity. This isn't complicated work. It just has to be done right, so it's resilient to what has happened to Twitter. So this is a key, right? A super interesting idea. Okay. He says that, I'm off Twitter board mid-May and then completely out of company. I intend to do this work and fix our mistakes. Twitter started as a protocol. It should have never been a company. That was the original sin. So Jack Dorsey says it shouldn't have been a company. He says it should have been a protocol. So Elon Musk, I think because Elon Musk supports free speech, right? Freedom of speech. So if you see here, this is what sparked off the whole problem, right? So on October 4th, Elon Musk is talking about peace. He says, okay, Ukraine, Russia, peace. This is what he recommends. Redo the election of annexed regions, right? Those regions that was taken over by Russia, right? Redo elections of annexed regions under UN supervision. Russia leaves if that is the will of the people. So if the will of the people don't want Russia, right, Russia should leave, right? But if the will of the people, they want Russia, they should be with Russia. They should be annexed and be a part of Russia. Okay, Crimea to formally be Crimea formally part of Russia as it has been since 1783 until Khrushchev's mistake. Water supply to Crimea assured, and Ukraine remains neutral, right? Because that was the original thing. Because Russia always wanted Ukraine to be neutral so that they have a buffer, right? Because NATO and all that, they have their own army, and Russia has been attacked before in World War II. So any country would be afraid, right? Because they have been attacked in World War II. Russia was attacked by Germany. So they always wanted Ukraine to be neutral and not a part of NATO, right? So this whole thing started because the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, said that Ukraine should be a part of NATO. That whole thing, it started, from that thing, right? Which is so irresponsible, and it damaged the whole status quo. It damaged the whole thing. So I'm not going to go into that, but what happened is that Paul Massaro, right? He says, a lot of people like him, right? Who are like that, right? The left, right? They says that no, Ukraine liberates all its sovereign territory, Russia decolonizes, demilitarizes, and denuclearizes. So these are the kind of stupid things that happen because you can't have that. Russia is a country. Russia is verily a country, right? It's the biggest landmass, right? On earth, right? So you got to give it some respect, right? And not say like that. And you got to talk about peace. So Kim.com says that Twitter has a NAFO problem, right? The creator of Mega Upload, Kim.com. An army of social media attack dogs run by US and Ukraine intelligence services. Western media and social media are bombarding us with anti-Russia propaganda and information warfare operation to control the narrative and win the PR battle. It's all about how you control the narrative and win the minds of the people, right? That's how they play the game. It's propaganda. That's all, right? So yeah, it's leaning, not only leaning, it's just collapsed to the left, and the right have no say. So when you talk about peace, you get shut down, right? When you talk anything against the left, you get shut down. So there's no freedom of speech, and freedom of speech is protected in US by the Constitution, right? So that has to be respected. So that's why Jack Dorsey said it should have been a protocol all this while. So the results of the poll was, as you know, right? No was 59.1. So not the will of the people, right? The people has no will, right? So wonder how many bots were activated to turn around the original result, right? Namely, Nika says, because the bots are there to attack, okay, to attack the the results. So Elon Musk says, indeed, the biggest bot attack I've ever seen. So there is a big problem, right? And people, must be. There should be. People should be. I feel they should be supporting the peace, right? And if you have bots, okay, looking for war, looking for a nuclear attack, that I think is wrong at many levels. Governments can be compromised, right? Like Twitter can be compromised, right? That is the problem of centralization. That has always been a problem of centralization. We don't have to look far, go so far. We can just go back to Germany, right? We saw Germany, how it was usurped, right, by Hitler and his party, and the whole country was possessed, you know, and that's why Russia is pissed, because Russia was attacked, and that's why they want Ukraine to be a buffer. So I don't think it's I don't think it's a tall order, right? Or it's a huge demand for that, you know. So this would mean that Twitter has a very big bot problem, and I think this exactly what happened, and it pissed Elon off, you know. And as a businessman, his companies like Tesla having $1 trillion valuation, right? SpaceX $100 billion valuation, Neuralink $1 billion, Boring company $5.6 billion. So they want to make business. I mean, they want to make money. They want to thrive, and they want to do good for the world. Like, you know, he gave Ukraine like Starlink satellites, you know, for the internet, and he lost 80 million in that process, you know. So he doesn't want war, because for Ukraine, the people, you know, he says that, you know, if Russia has so many more people than Ukraine, and if it comes down to nuclear attack, I think on both sides there will be death and, you know, disaster, and to recover from that, to build up from that. And not only these two sides, the whole world is suffering, right? Ukraine and Russia are the biggest grain exporters and all that, and Europe are reliant on Russian gas, and they're having problem in winter. God knows how many people are going to die in the winter if they don't get this sorted out. So it's a huge problem, you know. We should be building tech, should be, you know, it should be a sci-fi future, right? Going to different, exploring the solar system, right? Our planets, right? Having flying cars and all that. That is what we want, right? To be a technological savvy, civilization. But I think, you know, the way it's going and the way you can see it, right? It's not going the way it is. It's not going the way it's supposed to be. So that's why I think, and again, I can't stress how important Twitter is, right? Especially for people, in the town hall. Opinions do matter, you know. Opinions do matter, because all the top people are there. Governments are on Twitter, you know. Personalities, businessmen, economists, celebrities and all that. So it's a great town hall that is going to be molded, right? It's going to be transformed, because down here, if you can see, I bookmark this, right? Buying Twitter, Elon Musk says, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. So X.com was his baby, right, in the 90s, which got merged with Peter Thiel's company, and it became PayPal. So he was one of the founders of PayPal, right? And then, but the board didn't want him, and they appointed Peter Thiel in instead. And so he had that vision of X becoming the everyday app, the everything app, where you could send money, right, transfer money, where you could hail a taxi, okay, where you could buy groceries, you could do all these things. So that was his vision back then. So he bought X.com back from PayPal, and, you know, I think he wants to make Twitter like that, you know. So again, very powerful tool, Twitter. Again, the monetary system of Twitter is going to be Dogecoin, right? Let's just face it. He's the self-proclaimed CEO of Dogecoin. So he will put Dogecoin as that unit of currency in that system. So you will be buying, you'll be, you know, you'll be commenting, and you'll be earning. See, now, like on Twitter, you can be tipped with Bitcoin. So I think both, I would say Bitcoin and Dogecoin will really benefit from this if Twitter ever goes. I mean, if Elon Musk buys Twitter, because as I showed you, his companies are valued at a lot, and they just don't do anything, because he will make people pay, especially the blue check mark people. They will have to pay to use Twitter, because if it's free, you are the product, right? So I believe that Dogecoin is going to do very well thanks to Elon Musk. and let me know what you think about this video, and please give peace a chance and don't just listen to this mainstream media, right? So everything they're just regurgitating all the left and its narrative, so just have a balanced view, have a balanced view. So that's my 2 cents, right? I mean, you could do whatever you want, no problem, right? But please, I hope you follow me on Twitter, and like and share my video, and let me know what you think. Comment on the comment box, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.